Alright, this is our first video of Molly. We did this 100 IM. This is before we gave any corrections and technique, just to kind of see where we're at. So you can see she's got a good balanced kick going. She's got to work on getting that head down, her head staying very much at the surface, and that's something that we talked about throughout the day, is that head position, body alignment.
As we went on to backstroke, you can see she's got some fast feet. That's good, but even though that kick is fast, her hips are still a little low right there, and you can see her shoulder is not breaking the surface, and she's keeping her arm very straight, and she's finishing really deep. Okay, as the day went on, we watched some videos and did some drills working on not having our arm straight and really trying to get that shoulder to break the surface.
Alright, so we transitioned to breaststroke, and we talked about pullouts and talked about really getting some power behind that. We also talked about our head and body position, getting our head down, getting our head below our arms, popping our hips, and really getting into a strong baseline position and really using our glide. Now, she is snapping her kick very well, but that's something that we talked about throughout the day.
Switching over to freestyle. Nice solid kick. You can see there's a little bit of hand drop right whenever she takes a breath right there. We watched some videos and we really tried to get the point across as far as using that hand as a little surfboard and surfing that hand. Because as soon as that hand drops down, you encounter lots of resistance and lose speed almost instantly.
Alright, so this is her butterfly after we did some drills and watched some videos. So you can see that she's really trying to force her head down and dive down and get her hips up and her head down every time she takes a stroke. And again, that's a vast improvement, and that over time will really help that fly become more efficient as she goes through the year.
After watching some backstroke video and doing some drills, we really worked on trying to get that shoulder to break the surface. Let's see how this looks right here. Good strong kick out. You can see that shoulder is right at the surface now. Look at that. There we go. Good rotation on the side. Anytime you learn something new, there might be a little hesitation with it being a little slower at first, but overall the mechanics are there. So once she uses this technique and she trains it for a few days, it's going to be a whole lot faster.
Alright, now switching to breaststroke. So again, we spent time talking about great strong kick on the pullout, very strong and narrow. So again, talking about the head down, and you can see right there, beautiful head placement. Her body is in a nice flat, straight line, and every time, right there, and she knew she was doing something, then she made an adjustment. That is a great improvement for Molly.
Switching over to the freestyle, we did a drill where we really focused on wrist flick and hip rotation. You can see the hand is all the way past the thigh on this one, and when she's taking that breath, she's trying to surf this hand right there on the breath. Right there, big improvement. Good job on that freestyle. We finished up with a video on 100 IM above the surface, so you can see what these strokes look like, and you can see she's skimming those arms right above the surface, which is what we talked about. Good thrust, getting her hips up and getting her feet at the surface.
Alright, and then we're going to transition to backstroke here. Again, working on getting that armpit out of the water. And as you can see, she's really driving. She's forcing herself to get onto her side. She's got a beautiful, fast, consistent kick. But you can really see the point of emphasis, even after a long day, is getting that armpit out, staying long and powerful. And you can see, and she still can work on getting those hands and bending that elbow and pulling that way, but that just comes with time. But overall, a great adjustment.
Whenever we did the breaststroke, a 25 breaststroke by itself, they were able to get out really far in the underwater pullout, but here you can see not as far as she was on an individual pullout, and that's because she was a little fatigued. We got to just work on that lung capacity and getting a little stronger and being able to hold our breath underwater so we can really maximize that underwater pullout.
Alright, and you can see she's still diving that head down, and again, that is a totally different breaststroke than what we saw. And that just needs to keep, she just needs to keep working on that day in and day out, and that's going to become more and more comfortable as she goes. Now switching to freestyle, again, she's doing a really good job of finishing past. She's got a very strong kick, and then again, as her hand enters the water, she's continuing to grab water, pull. She's trying to keep that elbow up a little bit more, but we could still work on making sure the hand goes down and then we pull through. But overall, great job, Molly.